Good morning to Miss Lidiawani and my fellow classmate. I am Wei. My metric number is 262240. Today, I would like to talk about wilderness survivor. Oh no! I'm lost! I got stuck in the jungle. This is what we will think when we're getting lost in the wild. Have you ever thought that one day you will get lost in the wild? What can you do? And what should you do? Basic tips to survive in wild are very important when getting lost in the jungle. You have to know the tips so that you can act properly if the incident really happening. According to Brian Connelly, 2018, there are approximately 2,000 people get lost in the woods every year. It is possible to get lost in the wild when you do activities such as hiking, camping, exploring, and jungle trekking. You need to know about the basic wild survival tips to avoid from dehydration, starvation, and exposure that will make you die. I am here to share with you some basic tips on how to survive in the wild when getting lost in the jungle. First, I will begin with how to find water and food resources in wild. Next, I will talk about how and why you need to build a shelter to protect yourself, followed by the ways and the reasons to light up the fire. So let's start with the first tip to survive in wild. The first basic tip to survive in wild is to find water and food resources. Now, I will talk about how to find water resources in the wild. Water is essential for survival. We can still survive for some time without food, but without water, we can't. So, we need to find water to avoid from dehydration. The leaves in the jungle are usually large. You can try to bend the leaves into a funnel shape and use them to collect the rainfall. After that, you can straight away drink it or store it in a water bottle to let you remain hydrated. Next, look for the streams and the rivers with running water. You may need to filter and boil the water you collect to kill the bacteria. Avoid taking water from the stagnant pool because it is a breeding ground for bacteria and parasites that can harm your well. Besides, you can also create solar water still to collect water. Dig a hole in the soil at the area which is exposed to sunlight and place a container inside the hole. Then, fill the area around the container with anything wet. Lie a plastic sheet over the hole and anchor it with rocks. Then, place a small stone in the middle of plastic. Condensation will occur and the distilled drinking water will drop into the container. So next, I will share about how to find food resources. So basically, there are a lot of food in jungle, but do not try to hunt an animal because it is more difficult than you think. The best way is to trap the animals. The more trap you make, the more chance you get to catch something. If there is river, fishing is a good choice to get the food resources. An effective way to catch a fish is by using the prone fishing spear which can be made with bamboo or branches. Do not simply eat a plant in jungle because it might be poisonous. You can choose to eat barks instead of eating plants. Wow, it sounds disgusting, but it is more safety. Now, we will move to the second tip to survive in wild. Okay, the second basic tips to survive in wild is to build a shelter to protect yourself. So, how to build a shelter? First, you need to choose a place for your shelter. Choose a site that is flat, dry, and do not near the water. If your shelter is on a slope, the water can enter your shelter when it is raining. The place you choose must free from loose rocks to ensure your safety. Next, decide what type of shelter you want to build. The easiest shelter to make is the lean-to shelter. First, you need to find a long straight branch and lean it against a tree. Then, place shorter branches along the long branch at 45-degree angles. Cover up it with large leaves or debris to make a cover. The shelter does not trap body heat as well as completely enclosed shelter. However, the wall of the shelter can reflect the heat if you make a fire in front of the shelter. You can also choose to build a frame brush shelter because it is easy and fast to build. This is a great short-term shelter for a single person, but the fire cannot warm inside the shelter. So why you need to build a shelter? Shelter is your survival priority. It is even important than food and drinks. A shelter can protect you from severe conditions such as extremely hot temperatures that may cause sunburn, sunstroke, and heat stroke, or extremely cold temperature that may cause exposure. Exposure in harsh environment can cause death. A good shelter can protect you from a variety of uncontrollable factors such as shade you from the sun, shield you from the cold wind, and keep you safe and dry in case of rain. Besides, it can hide you from nearly harm and predators such as snakes and insects. It can help you to maintain your will to survive. Lastly, we will discuss the third basic tip to survive in wild. The third basic tip to survive in wild is to light up fire. So how to light the fire? There are several ways to light up fire without lighter or matches. So one of the ways to light up fire is by using the fire flow method. First, you need to find a hard wood and a soft wood. Cut a groove on the soft wood and use the hardwood to rub it. Put your tenderness at the end of the soft wood so that you can throw embers into it to start a fire. The second way to light up fire is by using the rock method. So you need to find a small piece of quartz and a rock that fits your hand. Hold a small piece of the quartz on the top of the rock and hit the rock so it will catch a spark and catch on fire. The third way is by using the hand drill method. This is the most difficult method to light up fire. First, you need to build a tinder nest. Then, make a V-shaped notch into the soft wood you find and make a small depression adjacent on it. Place the fire tinder under the notch and spin the notch with the hard wood. Once you see glowing ember, tap the soft wood so that the ember can drop onto the fire tinder. So, why you need to light the fire? The most important reason to light up fire is to keep you warm. As to survive in wild, the top priority is to stay warm. Without fire, it is difficult to stay warm and can cause hypothermia. You need to stay warm to avoid exposure that can cause death. The second reason is to cook the food and boil the water. There are bacteria on the food and water. You need to cook and boil them to kill the bacteria so that they are safety to be used. The third reason is to get attention. When you are getting lost in the wild, you need some signals to search for help. Fire can be used as a very effective signal for help. It can improvise visual signals to get attention from the aircraft and the search party on the ground. So, there is the 3 basic tips to survive in wild when you lost in the jungle. Wilderness survival tips are very important in order to maintain your will to survive. We need to know about the basic survival skills in the wild because they can help us facing the uncontrollable and unplanned crises in the wild. As I mentioned before, basic tips to survive in the wild are very important when getting lost in the jungle. These basic tips can help us to ensure our safety in wild. So, we need to learn these basic tips earlier before it is too late. I sincerely hope that this speech will help you to get new knowledge on how to survive in the wild. Thank you.